Welcome, welcome to Beyond the Veil with Adina. I am Adina, and you guys are now Beyond the Veil with me. I am not only your hostess with the mostest around here, but I am also your resident oracle, your resident wise woman, your resident medium, your resident necromancer, your resident woo lady, and all of those things. And I like to state that up front just in case you're new around here. If you find yourself here and that's not your thing, I invite you to leave with peace, just as peacefully as you come, because I do not want you to disrespect, first and foremost, yourself, secondly, my community, and thirdly, me. And if you are kind to my folk and you are interested in these types of things, welcome. Please have a seat amongst the congregation and make yourself at home. Take an offering envelope because we're going to pass the plate around at some point of the service. To all of my regular viewers, my OG subscribers, my blessed babies, my bush watchers, who I also consider blessed babies because you all are the most loyal of them all. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Happy Day of the Sun to all of you. Blessings to all of you all over the world. Please, as you come into the chat, let me know how you're doing. How are you guys doing? I want to do a mental and emotional health check in on everybody. So please let me know how you're doing. And if you're new, let me know where you're from while you're at it. Hello, Jazz. Hello, April. Hey, Diamond. Hey, Miss Poetic. Happy Sunday to all of you beautiful ladies and any gentlemen in here. God bless you. As you're telling me how you're doing, and you guys are greeting each other, which I always love to see as I'm doing my introduction and I look into the chat. I always notice how you guys are coming in here greeting each other. And I think that is one of the most beautiful parts about the community that I've acquired. You on the tail end of it. Good. You show that thing who's boss. You show that thing who's boss. Hey, Michelle. How you doing, honey? All right. Little Florida water never hurt nobody. Or did it? Good, Michelle. Good. All right. I'm going to try not to be before you all long because I am going to do my Inner Courts tier membership live tonight. The energy in New York is peculiar. You know what? Diamond and interesting because I have been working with a few clients who are from New York these days, and some of them said the energy, actually, one of them today said the energy in New York is crazy right now. So I believe you. I believe you because you're the second person who said that the energy in New York is crazy right now, literally almost verbatim to what the other person said. Thank you, Miles. So, oh, hey, Louisiana, baby, how you doing, baby? Go ahead, put a pot of gumbo on for the chat. I mean, for the members. We likes to eat in the membership live. I eat. I don't know what they be doing, but I be eating. Because I'm a Taurus ascendant and I'm going to eat. Okay? Yes, I love Louisiana. Y'all know I love Louisiana, baby. It's your birthday, soccer boy. Happy birthday, honey. All right, so yeah, welcome to the members live, the membership. Catch up. You got a lot to catch up on. And your head will be spinning, but it's okay. You're welcome. All right, so one of my members asked me to do, my members asked me to look into what's coming next for the citizens of the United States as it relates to the U.S. versus Iran versus Israel um, conflict currently happening. And I actually was going to post that I was going to take the day off because I have a really busy week ahead of me and I really needed to focus. But when my members ask, when I am summoned, I show up. So I'm going to approach first and foremost this situation from that perspective. How is this going to, hey, Mama Fakit, how is this going to, did somebody say Sissy's in the house? Ooh, if Sissy's in here, hey, hey, lovely Cosmos. Okay. Um, um, I'm going to look, I was asked to look and see how this is going to affect people in the US. And this request was from someone who lives in the US. So I imagine everybody is concerned about how this is going to affect us and if anybody is going to bombs over Baghdad over here. I'm sure that's why that person wanted to know. So I'll go ahead and ask. I actually would have probably covered this the other night, or was that Friday, when I was looking into Marco Rubio over there appealing to the Security Alliance. And one of my subscribers told me to get some rest because I was going through that whole transcript of Marco Rubio's speech over there. But the gist of it is that he went over there to appeal for help. And then a few days later, yes, Jazz, the problem is that I have been very overwhelmed these past few days. The floodgates have opened upon me, and everybody has converged upon me at once. And I was supposed to take yesterday off because I was out of town with my cousin helping her with the startup of her business. But I had so many pressing matters that by the time I got home, I had to go right to work. And I am going to respond to you. And the answer to that is no, not at the moment, but I will. I will get a P.O. box. I'll do that this week, maybe tomorrow. So I did get your text, and I'm sorry if I've been delayed on responses, but if I didn't respond to you, it's just because I literally could not take another moment of having my phone in my hand. Um, so I'm going to, like I was saying, I would have predicted this because I was going to say the other night before I could finish the live because Q told me to get some rest, goddess, and I did. So I didn't get to finish with Marco Rubio's appeal. But what it was him appealing to help from their alliances in the international community because they're overwhelmed. And by they, I mean the US, and in my opinion, these are all my opinions. So please, I'm a crazy lady in an orange outfit and a scarf. Um, and I'll be reading picture cards. So please, nobody pay me any attention. So um, it seemed to me that even though I didn't get to finish what I was going to get around to, I just wanted to read Rubio's entire statement, his entire speech in his own words. But I even said that they're over there appealing for help because they're desperate, they're in dire need for something. And it seems as though the answer, they got help quickly because a few days, and I say a few days because that happened, that appeal to their security alliance situation over there in Munich. Is that how you pronounce it? Munich? Or is it Munich? Munich in Europe. That happened on February 14th, Valentine's Day, but everybody, that wasn't really advertised, publicized as much as the State of the Union was, because that, everybody gets really up in arms about Trump. So that was a great way to distract everybody from that. And it's not as if too many people would have caught on to what was going on over there anyways, and what was really being asked for. And in my opinion, their allies over there responded by helping them or assuring them their support in their attacks against Iran, in my opinion. Now, after I look into how this is going to affect the U.S., I'm personally curious about if they're going to target Nigeria again next, simply because you guys know for the past few weeks, ever since France was kicked out of Africa and Africa decided to unite against the colonizers, and in my opinion, the US and their allies were upset, or France and their allies were upset because they don't have, easy access to the resources over there. Now they have to pay to play with the Africans. And the US reportedly bombed Nigeria a few weeks ago. And in my opinion, they also tried the same thing with Iran. But remember, a few weeks ago, Iran had all those protesters, and the Iranian government executed a lot of their own citizens that were protesting for the US to come in. And I've been joking about that for the past week, saying, that shit that they tried in Venezuela, they weren't easily able to do that with Nigeria and Iran. And it seems that the US said, hold my beer. Hold on. We ain't done, because we went over here and asked our allies for help, and they said they will help us. So let's run it. So after I see how this is going to affect the US, I'm curious if they're going to try Africa again, since they were wholly unsuccessful the first time. All right. So the question is, how is this going to affect the US and its citizens? And that is what one of my members requested me to look into. And immediately after this, I'm going to go into my inner courts member tier. We have more pressing matters. Thank you, Jamar. And if you don't think that this is more pressing, it actually is what we've been into. It's more pressing than what you see going on. It's important that we be doing what we're doing while all of this is going on, because they're connected, intertwined. All right. April, look. You guys, this is the belly chain April made for me and sent to me. I told you I wear it every day. I only take it off when I bathe. All right. Oh, and I put your oils and stuff up, but text me and tell me the enemy dirt. Do I use this on my ops, or do I use this for me against my ops, so I know where to place this in ceremony? All right. Most High Mother and Father God, thank you. Oh, next Monday, the group blockbuster / road opener that is supposed to precede the new year, spring solstice, crown of success, on Friday, March 20th. Somebody, if you could please put my email in the chat, one of the mods, so that if anybody wants to participate, they can hit me up. All right, Most High Mother and Father God, thank you for this Sunday. Thank you for this day of the sun. Thank you for the warmth after this cold, cold winter season. I'm so glad it's warming back up. Spirit, you see what the nations have done to each other, how they fight and war with each other in desperation for survival. But some of the people here in the United States wonder, or maybe even are afraid, concerned about what this war between Iran, the US, and Israel, and all of their allies, what this means for the citizens in the US. Will the US be attacked directly? Not just our embassies and stations and bases over in the East, but here at home. Will there be any physical attacks on the citizens of the United States? And even if not, how will this conflict affect the citizens of the United States? Thank you, JD. I am going to, and thank you, Jasmine. I am going to pin that. If anybody wants to participate in those group ceremonies, they are, anytime I offer a group ceremony, they are $50 per person. And that is, they're not that regular price. So I always discount it to that so that everybody can participate. The blockbuster is to open the way for the Crown of Success. Please see the Crown of Success video that I did, the live last week or 2 weeks ago. If you want more details about that, or just email me if you want to know what it is and what it's good for before you decide. All right. What does this war between U.S., Israel, and Iran mean for the citizens of the United States? And will there be any physical attacks in any way against the citizens or the United States itself? Okay. I think I read somewhere that the U.S. changed Iran's flag. Let me Google that. This is considered a victory. Not like the chariot kind of victory. And didn't the leader of Iran perish in this? I'm in the country too, Miss Poetic. I live on a dirt road in the woods. Proudly. All right. U.S. Iran news. Um, Live updates. CNBC. Trump vows to avenge the deaths of the U.S. service members. Live updates. CNN. Trump says U.S. casualties could happen again as Israel and Iran. ... BBC. Iran operations ahead of schedule, says Trump, as Tehran hits back. NBC News live updates. U.S. troops killed as Iran retaliates with strikes after death of Supreme Leader. U.S. Iran flag. Let me see. I just want to see. I think so, because flag popped right up. Or maybe not. Okay, I don't see any. Nevertheless, this is considered a win, in my opinion, for the enemies of Iran, especially since Iran's leader has been killed. So this is considered a win. It's considered like a foot in the door, their first step on having a stronghold of that land, of that nation. This is an attack, in my opinion, that was agreed upon at that Security Alliance meeting in Europe on February the 14th, when the Secretary of State went over there to appeal to their international allies. And in my opinion, these attacks were a direct result of that. Why the U.S. is so concerned, and I believe that's that meeting that they asked the Pope to join, because in my spare time, I didn't get to finish that live Friday night because my member told me to go to bed, and he's one of the only male members I have here, and when the men tell me to get some rest, I listen because I was tired, but I was going to keep going. But I didn't really go to bed yet. I got off live and then I went to my spirits and I asked what I wanted to know. Since I didn't get to finish discussing it with you guys, I finished it on my own. And anyways, I'll just stick to the script here. So in my opinion, this was their appeal to the Security Alliance. Oh, I was talking about the Pope. I remember hearing a couple of weeks ago that the Pope was extended an invitation, and maybe it was to that alliance and he declined. And in my opinion, the Pope does not want to get involved or did not want to get involved with this simply because, as the Pope, he would know what is coming from this. And I don't think he wanted to get involved because I honestly think that he is trying to atone in his own way by not choosing to get involved, because the Vatican has hold to all sorts of ancient documents that we've never seen, and even some that they said were destroyed or don't exist anymore, but lies, 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 and pacifiers. And in my opinion, this is the first, well, this is not my opinion, but this is the first time the U.S. has had a pope. So once this pope finally got his hands on the things and saw the things and saw the things, he said, oh, because he's American. So, you know, we built different. He said, hell to the no, and he from Chicago. That's a whole drill pope. He said, hell no. He said, no, I realize what I've been a part of, but now that I see it all the way, I won't do that. I won't do that. I won't do that. And now I'm going to try to, hey, all these years I was just playing. Hey, Divine, hey, I see what you're doing here. And did I mention I like the blacks too? I, I, I never personally, yeah, backpedaling and pussy popping. I would say I like that for him if it mattered, but it doesn't. All right, past position. This is the secretary, in my opinion, of state who went over there to the Security Alliance in Europe, and I began reading his speech. So you see this bald fist here, and this look of determination and determination and might on his face, and that balled up fist and that staff saying, we will, and you must help us, and you must help us invade Iran, and you must because you see the desert in the back and the salamander and the fire, so it's hot like Iran over there. You must help us establish ourselves over there. Establish ourselves over there. And they said, here, here. You see, the U.S. went and made an appeal, and the allies said, here, here. They're going to get their hands on that oil over there. Now that that leader is gone, and now that they have their boots on the ground. So I noticed that since we ransacked Venezuela, gas prices have been around $2.75, between $2.75 and $2.85, but they ain't been $3 and higher in a long time. And I specifically saw it around Venezuela because I keep mentioning, after we raided Venezuela, like a week or so afterwards, my mom called and was like, girl, gas 40 cents off at the Circle K. And I was like, okay, fill up. I'll wait. I just I just won't rush to, you know, consume all the oil that we just took like that. Like, I just couldn't. I'll pay the price when it goes back up. So I'm not sure if the oil prices will continue to drop over here because now we have a win over there, or if they'll stay the same. But I know for sure our oil prices are going to be on the lower end for some time. As long as we keep running up in people's houses that's got oil and getting away with it, then you guys can benefit. So if we're talking about how this will affect the U.S. citizens, it's been affecting you guys, or it's been affecting us, because for one, we've been benefiting off of the oil we've been snatching. The U.S. will sympathize with the victims and the casualties in Iran. simply because the U.S. citizens are T-I-red, T-I-red, as my mama used to say. I am T-I-red. This is us holding our head in disgust and shame and guilt and despondence and disassociation and just what the fuck are we supposed to do at this point? Because god dang, we're tired and we don't like what they're doing, just like the people over there probably don't. So the U.S. people will be sympathetic as we enjoy the spills of war. In my opinion, this is the alliance, the Three of Pentacles, and those three swords that I said were raised up when they made their appeal and said, here, 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 here. This is our present position. So this was the plan, and this was the initial blow, the initial grab. Since I have the federales watching me constantly, trying to interfere with my calls when I'm with my clients who already are probably looked at in their own right, and every time we get on the phone, it hangs up. We call back, it hangs up. We get to talking, it hangs up. And then that person said, God damn, is it me or you? Did they fucking at this point, probably the both of us. I gotta get me a burner and a P.O. box. I'm gonna have to get a burner for my consultations. God dang. Do y'all know, back in the day, remember when I had some subscribers who kept asking me to get on TikTok? Get on TikTok. I had someone reach out to me and say, you know, you went viral on TikTok because that person kept sharing my videos, and apparently one of them or some of them went viral. And I didn't even have a TikTok, so I thought it was the funniest thing because I was like, I ain't even on the talk and the TikTok. But that's cool that I actually went viral there. That's cool. And so everybody kept saying, you should really get a TikTok. You should. And I was like, I hate it. It's just too much. It's too ADHD over there. It's too fast moving for me. So I was like, okay, well, since the people would like to see me over there, I created a page, right? And then I uploaded 6 30-second clips of videos that I have here. Only 6. That's it. I was only building. I was only getting ready to start putting stuff on there. When I logged back in, do you know it said I was permanently banned? I said, what I do? I signed up yesterday, uploaded a couple clips from YouTube, and I was permanently banned. Permanently. Anyways, so I say that to say I have to bite my tongue on this one. So those who have ears to hear, listen well. The Lady of Liberty. See the Lady Liberty here? When she's in reverse, she's a nasty, nasty cunty. She plays dirty. She can't be trusted. She's vindictive. So in my opinion, other nations better be on guard, because the U.S. is, or this Lady Liberty here, she's out for blood, in my opinion. Oh, boy. I think it says, BBC says, Iran operations ahead of schedule, said Trump. Okay, that's exactly what this is. Ahead of schedule. Meaning at this meeting, it was agreed upon. Presently, this is our first, entrance in, or initiation into the plan. And per Trump's word, it's ahead of schedule. So there's no hiding what's going on here, no denying. They're saying, yeah, we ran up in your and actually we did it early. Just like they paraded those leaders of Venezuela. See, the U.S. is cutting off the heads of the snake, leaving these nations vulnerable so they can take them. As in the days of the forefathers, that's what make America great again. In the days of the founding fathers, when they were just conquerors and explorers for Britain, they pulled a coup on Britain as well. Took these here lands here for themselves with the help of their allies. So that's what make America great again. And you know what? All the Negroes who, never mind, I'm not going to talk. The Negroes have nothing to do with this one, but you FBAs, be careful with how you align yourself publicly with being a foundational Black American. Careful with that specific term. You can feel how you feel, but careful with aligning yourself publicly with that specific term. Remember, you became a citizen with an amendment, but not in the days of the foundations of this nation. When America was made, so when they say make America great again, you wasn't even considered human at that point. It was property. So careful. All right. I'm just going to say that this all, I know I'm supposed to be seeing how this affects the U.S. citizens, but the U.S. citizens right now, before I get to the outcome, are just going to be sympathetic to what's going on and tired of this situation. But right now, I don't see any attacks. Iran's leader is down. That makes Iran vulnerable. And the U.S. is empowered with its allies. So if you guys are concerned about an attack, it would have to be from Iran's allies. Hopes and fears, the Hermit. And this is what you guys fear. A bomb being dropped on us from the Middle Eastern people. But the outcome for the U.S. citizens, you'll get to enjoy your security. You'll get to go on and enjoy your security, your luxuries, your homes, your schools, your jobs. You guys will continue to shop. You know, you'll tear the malls down. I was just in the mall yesterday. I was in 2 malls yesterday, and they were crowded to the max. Actually, the first mall wasn't because it was a high-end mall, but the second mall, I got anxiety so bad because it was so many people. And when I got out of there, it was almost like when I got in the car, I started snatching shit off. I snatched my wig off. I snatched my clothes off. I was in the back seat because I didn't drive. I was in the back seat almost butt booty naked. Just because it drained me in the mall with all those people, and everybody was just so focused on the consumerism of it all. Like it was just being in a herd of sheep, to be honest. And nothing's wrong with shopping, but like as I walked through and look at everybody's faces, everybody had the same facial expression, and it was just everybody was ducking and dodging each other trying to get to their stores, and it was weird to me. It's my first time being in a mall in a really, really, really long time. So it just, I don't know, it was too much. But fear not, citizens of the U.S. They doing this for you, is what they're going to say. This for you. What you mean? I'm doing this for us. I'm out here in these streets for us, babe. Is y'all going to be ride or dies? Y'all going to ride for y'all man? They'll bring it back home. Because if you guys are frustrated and unhappy, you guys, the prices are high. you guys don't have certain luxuries, then you start worrying about things that matter. And there's another something going on here that if you guys get too upset and have too much time on your hands to go digging for truths, you might find something that's already brewing here. We need to hurry up and buy them something. hmm And we ain't got shit right now. That's why we've been shaking their asses down. So we gotta go on a Jackboy mission. Because if our citizens erupt, because remember, my last live I was telling y'all what Rubio said. Our issue is a potential issue for all of you, is what he said. So the US gotta go home and get it because they baby mama is starting to get fed up. And beneath the currents over here of everything that's said and done, there is something powerful happening in a place that it can be found if people were entirely unhappy and unsettled and had too much time on their hands because we're focused on other things. The US needed to hurry up and go and get some shit and bring it home to give you guys comforts so you can be happy again and not. The next card up is the Five of Wands. That start chattering, getting unhappy, starting to get unrested. Because then you might find out that there's something going on here that they don't want you to find out about. I promise. Let me clarify that. So for the most part, to answer your question, the person who asked about this, you'll be fine. If you're concerned about attacks on the soil, I don't see any. Appease you to bind you. Bind you from what? I guarantee you it's not just oil that we've been checking. There's multiple reasons besides just the oil while they're in that land. And having Iran, how close is Iran? That's strategic. Something about that is strategic for Israel and their positioning for the land that they're after. Having a stronghold on Iran weakens something over there that is beneficial to the U.S. and their allies, specifically though Israel. I know Marco Rubio said that the U.S.'s issue was the international community's issue, but in my opinion, Israel's issue was the U.S.'s issue, and that's why they went over there and needed help, because Israel really can't move like that outwardly without drawing too much attention by their enemies over there and risking one of their enemies striking them. They have to do stuff, in my opinion, through the U.S. But all of their allies are in something together, centered around or circling around one specific group of people, in my opinion, who hold the Torah as their own. The Four of, yep, here it is. Because remember I said the next step from you guys being comfortable is uprising and unsettling. Well, the 4 and the 6, the 5 of Wands is in the middle of that. So let's give them comforts and security so that now who is this? Remember I said there's something going on over here that they want you guys not to find if you start getting hyped up. Who is this? Because this person is capable of getting you guys hyped up, but it's not a politician. They call they call them the liberator. That's what they've nicknamed this person. All right. No, it's not Jasmine Crockett. I don't know who thought it. I hope that was just my mind playing tricks on me. All right, so the US will be fine. Let me keep you guys unaware about, because if everybody's happy, they're not digging around online and having time to find. Now, who is that? All right. So what does this mean for Africa? Because that's what I want to know. I want to know if Africa needs to have a head up. Abraham, this is me trying to, do one for the cause. It's ain't my first time, because the first time I read him, I said, you got a snake in the midst. And I actually saw that a couple of weeks ago. They found somebody in his inner squad that couldn't be trusted. That was an op. But I said that I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't want to ruin anything for him, because I felt like he already might have had suspicions or might have known. Nevertheless, he was made aware. So, Spirit, since the U.S. has been supported in their endeavors in Iran, will they make another attack on Africa with the support of their allies? Inner Courts members. Again, if you think what we're doing isn't important, may I draw your attention to the High Priestess that I just pulled. It's always a spiritual battle, first and foremost. And the desperation is because if this is taking place, and of course, Donald Trump has discussed certain matters with the Pope. Now that he has an American Pope, he definitely asked, is there anything in those books and documents that we need to be concerned about? And the Pope said, absolutely. And that's by my name, Bennett, and I'm not getting in that. Yep. And when the Pope said, yep, they went right over there to Europe with their security friends and said, listen, we in a bind, Nate. We have to act quickly. Because based on those books that our Pope had, they said that a time is about to be had. And it might not be the best time for us, so we have to act quickly, promptly. Africa. Spirit, will Africa be on the agenda for the United States and her allies as a target for an attack? Right now, the U.S. and France, because France is the most crippled because Africa kicked them out and kicked the U.S. out with them. If France goes, then the U.S. has to go, and the U.S. has more military might than France, and that's why the U.S. dropped a little bomb over there in Nigeria and said, listen, we did our part, but, they got that shit over there. Okay. Let's just, first and foremost, we know what they be doing over there, and we just not too sure about them yet. So currently, the U.S. and France are kicked out in the cold from all the benefits and resources of the motherland. Now, France is still seething. See, France is looking up, in my opinion, still mad. But the U.S. is focused on something else. So France will have to wait unless you're going to do something on your own, because the U.S. like, look now, bitch, we already hit them for you. Stop begging us to do stuff because we got issues on our own. Is you going to do something? Okay, then. So then wait until we got time. Africa is a different beast. I'm not just talking about Africa. Africa and its resources in the U.S. is including y'all who think you don't have any ties to it. I'm sorry, but you guys only like to celebrate Black history as y'all know it in the U.S. So can't nobody take y'all serious because y'all only celebrate the first Negro shoemaker. And it's like, girl, y'all want somebody to celebrate that shit every February? The first to succeed something according to the white people when this whole world, nevertheless, the blacks are a different beast. A whole different beast. The Empress, the universe, nature itself, they know how to wield nature. They know how to do things. They're like, we have seen them do things against what we believe is possible in nature. What if they stop our bombs in the air? Like, we've seen them do stuff and maybe they can just stop them in the air and send them right back to us with their eyeballs. We have seen them do things with nature. But also, why would Africa show up as the Empress? Those who think you don't have no ties. This is who doesn't have a tie to the divine mother of the deck. The Empress is the divine mother of the deck. She gives birth to everything and everybody you see later on in the deck. I think you guys need to go back a little bit past your history here in the U.S. Even those who say my people was here before the boats, go back a little bit past that. Maybe they were, but who's to say this land wasn't that land at the same time, at one time? Who's to say? So still, one people. And there were early migrations after we survived the flood. You don't think some of us migrated all over to other places? Same people, though. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyways, a try and a fail. I've said this before. A try and a fail for the U.S. and its allies over there in Africa. This is so hilarious to me. All these pentacles and the Mother Earth, these people are Earth people. They're Earth people. Just one with nature, it seems. Nothing but pentacles when it's talking about these people. One with Mother Earth itself. Same elements, same. Oh dear. Here is the 5 that I've been looking for. But we're talking about Africa. 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands. Africa is attempting to assemble itself. Some of its leaders, they have differing views right now, but Africa is attempting to assemble itself. So that's what's going on, and that's also the reason for the US and France being kicked out, because they're attempting to assemble and unite themselves. There are some challenges, but that's to be expected. Not everybody has the same views, but because of the energy of assembling, even the ones who oppose the revolution aren't in a position to outwardly stand against it. Crowning, Queen of Cups. Let me see what's below and then I'll tell you in a second. There is a woman of African descent, but she's not in Africa. This is the same energy here of the High Priestess that I just pulled about one of the reasons they need the U.S. to be comfortable again and not in this energy. Uniting, discussing things, differing opinions, but everybody's starting to discuss how we can unite despite that. They don't want that here, but there's something that could trigger that in the U.S. It's a black person or people. Person. Page of Pentacles. There will be an attempt, but this isn't an attack attempt. Maybe, well, no, this is the successful attack on Iran. The only other one who successfully stood up against the Jack move, theirs was just temporary. So they got Iran. This is emboldening them, though. If they can get Iran, however that worked, then they're going to be strategizing to see if they can apply the same methods in the motherland. External energy, and here's the U.S. people again. Sympathetic. The whole world right now is sympathetic. And even African people that are paying attention, they are too, because they understand that the U.S. just tried this with them too, but the Iranians couldn't defend themselves. So the world is mourning. It's funny they say everybody is cheering and the Iranian citizens are cheering. This contradicts that. I don't care who they put in the cameras for the news people, who they have marching around saying, yay, yeah. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. The real boots on the grounds, terrified and in despair. Who would celebrate? Who would be happy for war and mass casualties in their nation? Iran has not been under a civil war, I don't believe. So who wanted this? And remember, we heard the same reports in Venezuela talking about the Venezuela citizens want this. This is what they report to our media, the Western media. Oh, no, 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 no. They wanted this. It's okay. They wanted us to do that. Hopes and fears. They would love to strike on Africa, but they're not ready yet. In my opinion, this is hesitancy. Outcome. It could, though. This could be a drop on Africa in the future, but I never see success for them there. Not the kind they just had. Then I would have seen this. Remember, I saw this, and this was Trump saying their plan with Iran is ahead of schedule. No ahead of schedule plan in Africa. Even if they do try, it's going to take some time before they can do that again. Ironically, Africa does not have nuclear weapons. All these white nations and their weapons of mass destruction, but they want us to think we're the beast, that blacks are the beast. Not one nuclear weapon on site. And with all of those natural raw materials over there, you don't think Africa has something stronger than what they have? They got vibranium. Wait, what was the thing in Wakanda Forever? Was it vibranium? Vibranium Wakanda, I think. Yes, they have vibranium. And they didn't even make no weapons of mass destruction. Knight of Pentacles in reverse as their outcome for their attempts on Africa. I think this is Abraham. Let me see. Maybe not. I think the Pope told them something dangerous would happen if they did that. So they're going to halt on that. Not saying that they're never going to try again at any point in history, but they need to build up to that. So Iran, get Israel situated so that they can come out as the chosen people, their third temple. And then when the whole world believes that, then maybe they might feel supported enough, emboldened enough to do that. The King of Cups in reverse, that feels like the Pope. Oil. No, that's Abraham. They've got an Abraham problem. Abraham, Traor. And attacking Africa would trigger the U.S. citizens. It would trigger the U.S. blacks to leave. If we saw them doing that on the motherland, but something else would happen that they're afraid of. Something else would happen that they're afraid of. That Hermit. Oh, that's the dropping the bomb on Africa, I think. They're not ready for that yet. I see keep them in a state of delusion, and we don't have to worry about the U.S. blacks. The problem is that if you upset the blacks too much, they might trigger a mass exodus, and they don't want that to happen. They'll rather pull jack moves on any other weaker nation just to bring the loot home to you, to make you want to stay here. If you leave, if the blacks leave, they are done. They are done. If the blacks no longer believe in the American dream, then nobody else will. Everybody who says in their racist hatred, go back to Africa and stuff like that, that they're not in the know. They're dumb. They're not in, that's why they're not elite. The elite would never tell us to go back to Africa, which is why they have not supported any movement to do so. Not the current one, because we're having year of returns all over the continent in Africa. Marcus Garvey, that was sabotaged. Let's take a gander. And then I'll go to my members live. Spirit, does the United States of America want black citizens to be upset enough to leave the U.S.? Do they want that? Does the United States want black people, or care, not want, but care, if they decide to wake up and say, you know what, the black delegation would like to go and populate the land of such and such and build up our own community. We don't want to be a nation. We don't want to compete with y'all. We just want to live in peace. Would the United States of America support that? A mass exodus from their blacks? Would they support it? Never. Never. You see, they tried it before. It happened before. And we stopped it. We did it that. We did it that. And we gave them everything they could ever imagine over here, every dream they could dream of to chase, to keep them here forever. They'll be chasing all the dreams we sold them until the day they die. And then, since they don't believe in reincarnation because we told them not to, they'll come back chasing the dream again and again and again and again and again. Until we're weakened enough to no longer be able to sell them bullshit. And it sounds like the day is upon us, but support it? No. Challenging position. Well, that'll be the end of them. And by them, Abraham and his sons. Jesus, and Yahweh. All three of them. From the warring thunder god, Yahweh. You see that? The warring thunder god? Now, what do the blacks have to do with Yahweh? And why would that have anything to do with never will we let you leave here supporting you? You're going to have to leave in blood. It was hard enough getting this great nation off the ground without them. And we almost crumbled when we signed our Declaration of Independence and went immediately into the 5-year economic crisis, the first in U.S. history, when they signed the Declaration of Independence. Same year. Same year. Sounds like God was trying to tell y'all something. 5 years. That's a challenging number. Like that 5 of Pentacles we just saw when reading the Africans, and the 5 of Wands in the near future. 5s are omens. They're warnings. Something has to change, because if you don't, you might go straight to destruction. So they had to set in place and process a way to get them out of chains and abuse, but still get them to produce. So you tell the slave, I'll set you free and I'll pay you a penny. Now the slave has a dream, feels like it can accomplish something because it's free and it's making money. And if it works hard enough and saves hard enough, it could be equal to massa. But for every penny massa gives you from the work that you do, massa makes millions and billions. So no, you will never be the same. But you will always have a dream and a goal to work towards until the day you die. The problem was they thought that not abusing the slaves outwardly and forcing them outwardly to be laborious was going to save them. So their response was the amendments. Yeah. We talk about that in my member group, but y'all only be here for the tea, so I saved the scholarship for the wisdom seekers. Strength card. Lady Liberty here will do everything she can to tame the lion of the tribe of Judah into perpetuity. Her existence, her DNA, her instincts are in making sure that this beast is tamed. Not outwardly, though. So they do it in a very Puritan way because this beast could easily consume this lady. But the beast allows the lady to take, look, even licks her because whatever she's feeding it, they like it. They like it. And look at this. Good boy. Good boy. You keep wagging your tongue up at this American dream and the jewelry and the cars, the lifestyle, the influencer lifestyle, the celebrity lifestyle, all that. Keep licking your tongue at it. Good. That's a good people. Good boy. But her survival depends on that. Crowning the niggers is power. Crowning the Negroes is power. And this move in Iran is chess. Stop playing checkers. Chess. You guys think the long game. They need to build up a stronger presence in the East. Abraham's offspring of gods, of religions, of sons, of tribes, from the Yahweh thunder god, the warring thunder god. So they need to establish a presence there before they can actually eliminate the beast. If Africa is destroyed, where will the people go? Where will any brown people go if things get rough over here and you guys keep saying, this is our land, give us a reparation so you can give it back to them, so you can spend it with them? That's all y'all want, is to buy you a house and pay taxes on it, is to drive nice cars and post about it, pay high-ass payments and insurance. You want to buy land so you can pay taxes on that, and then they can move the goalpost and snatch it right back from you with eminent domain. There is power in the Negroes. You guys have an oracle, one that they had in every age, like this. This is the blacks, bound, trapped in a bed of their own despair. This is what the spirit wants you guys to see of yourselves. This is what the blacks in the U.S. look like. And look, who did it? The thunder god Yahweh and its sons and their governments and their laws. But listen, there's no one here in this card but you. Their effects are here. But you can always get the fuck up and walk away. Your problem is you want to stay here. You just don't want to be laying up under all this pressure. You want to be able to be comfortable here. But there's darkness here. I'm not sure what this is depicting, but I'm going to read my book to see what exactly this is depicting, because it's not clear here what I'm looking at, but it's depicting something here. Looks like an attack between two people One person is falling, the other is maybe raising a sword against the other. The problem is this depicts that, yes, there was a culprit here, because this is the person raising the sword and this is the person falling. The problem is they don't never strike. The person falls out of fear of the person getting ready to strike them. So they never even really have to hurt you, because you allowed yourself to be paralyzed with fear just by their sheer dominance instead of bucking back and seeing what happens. That is why the Lady Liberty dresses in white and in garlands, because we're here to help. We're your government, everybody. We're here to serve you. If you have a problem, you need to go to your government, not yourself, not your own instincts, not your roots, because we made sure those were cut off a long time ago. Come to us. But who is more at risk here? The lion or the lady? She's not even afraid, though, because she knows she has this lion fixed. So she's not even afraid to have her hands damn near in his mouth, because all he's going to do is wag his tongue. Hopes and fears is that the gig is up, is that actually they're exposed, and people actually see how they're exposed. Like the 18 people it says is here watching me. It might be more, but it says 18 people. More of you seeing stuff like this. Oh, 16. Some of you guys were the federales. You guys are always welcome here, whether I like it or not. Outcome. My question was, will they support the blacks leaving? No. But some will. Many have, actually. Many have. I know a lot of you guys aren't aware of that because it hasn't been in the blogs and in the media, but there's already been a very mass exodus. In fact, okay, never mind. I won't speak on that. But anyways, it already has begun. And hopes and fears is the outcome is that slowly but surely some will. However, I think that they're going to make an attempt on either Africans or maybe even blacks in America if that gets too out of hand. And as a result of them not letting you guys out, the way will be available for you, but only a few will take it. Only a few will see the light. This is also seeing the future, because you don't really see everything except what's lit up in front of you. But the hermit is wise, so they trust the process and they understand they may not see everything, but based on what they can see right here, where the light shines, they need to move. This is also a wise man. So those are the wise people. Less trial and tribulation for them that they have to endure. Look, behind those who do choose to leave because they're wise enough to do so, and not just wise, but prepared. Maybe you want to, but it's going to take some time. So that's also the hermit. Been on this path for a while, but I'm on my way out. Look at that. Freedom. Being free from the devil. Behind leaving. And it's also why they don't want you to, because it's a devil situation. The chosen people. The real people, birthed from the Divine Mother, who truly hold the Torah. This comes before the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune has the Torah in the middle and four corners of the earth around in it, meaning the four fixed sign, the nations of the world, who divided them up for themselves, who assumed this identity and then guarded it with the Wheel of Fortune. But who had it first? The high priestess. Number two. Those originally birthed from the Divine Mother, Mother Earth, so to speak. They held it first in wisdom and purity, in wisdom and understanding. Knocked down out of their position of where they used to be. Your world, your responsibility to keep the world at peace, at bay. Who knocked you off? The Six of Wands, invaders. Let's take a look at that. Let's see who knocked you down. Look at the original human beings. And I created male and female. I created he and her and them together at the same time in the image. And to them, I gave them the covenant and the blessing. It's be fruitful, multiply, it's your world. Develop it, rule it, conquer it. Notice this though. A lot of people never pay attention to this little door in the mountain. Who and what crept out of there? Who and what out of the bowels of the earth crept out of there? Something that was not foreign to humanity, to the man and the woman here, and all the creation that they created. After they subdued the earth, they start developing it out of their loins. They created children who would later have children and would populate, and communities would form as the commandment was given when earth was created. But at the time that humans were created, something else already existed on the planet that was not a part of our creation, not a part of it. They should have been destroyed, but they are crafty. And so the hollows of the earth became their home because the earth kept going through cataclysms in order to wipe them out. And many of them did, and they got wise and burrowed themselves like groundhogs into the earth to survive, foreign to mankind, you say? And now, run mankind for himself is still not a part of humanity, but sits in front of it with all the secrets of the truth veiled in the same color of veil. But you see, she's wearing it. He can only wear the white. He can only appear pure. But out of their intentions, their actions always show what's really on their mind. Blood, power, violence. The mysteries of the universe are behind them. And since they don't have the consciousness to understand, they covered them so that the original humans just sit on top of the truth, never even noticing because they're pointed up that they're sitting on top of the veil instead of being behind it. Oh dear. The big three Abrahamic religions converged together at some point in history and are doing it again. The problem is, though, they're fighting against each other. One has to go. The Christians and the Jews said, Allah, you have to go. You have to go. You know, they love taking out their brother. Look, out of the three, only two can survive this tower. Only two can rule. Brother, you have to go. And if the Iranians just let them come in and do what they wanted to do, they wouldn't have bombed them. They wanted them to relent, but they didn't. But they need that land. They need that. And the Iranians, they want to be superior too. I mean, the Arabs want to be, the Muslims want to be superior too. But the other big two of Abraham said, no, we run team. I don't know why they don't want Ishmael to be involved. They always kicking Hagar's son out. Wasn't it Hagar, Abraham's mistress? See, they doing it again. Doing Ishmael and his mother dirty again. The two have decided it's Christ and Yahweh. Allah cannot be. But why? Why Allah can't join the party? Oh, too much truth. Too much spiritual truth or spiritual power. Seems that Allah might be the closest out of the three of Abraham's spawns to the truth than the other two. The Arabs are, even it seems the Muslims or their faith or something, it seems to be too much of a too tied to the, I won't call it the old world and the old world beliefs, but too close to a spiritual system that might lead to some sort of personal spiritual growth. It's one of the systems that still has remnants of its mother in it. It has not completely stamped out its mother like the Christian faith has and the Jews, even though they still acknowledge the lineage of the mother, but they have to, if they want to keep an eye on keeping the people out, keeping certain people out, so that they can claim that identity, then yes, they have to control who's birthed in it and not birthed out. Like the monarchs I was talking about, the ones who claim another people's identity and split it up for themselves, they will still acknowledge a lineage through the mother. So no, we wouldn't be supported in that endeavor here. We would have to exodus if we wanted to. Never look for a day where the U.S. wishes you well on your journey. And I mean mass people. Like if all Black Americans woke up one day and said, you know what, we decided to renounce our citizenship here. No. That would not happen. That would be a matter of national security, and they would shut you down, in my opinion. But if we're just doing it one by one silently and we're not making any noise about it, and the mass of us aren't doing it, then they don't like it. But if they start seeing them numbers going up, they gonna make the process difficult. All right, that's that with that. I hope you guys, I don't want to say enjoyed that because that wasn't to be enjoyed. Nothing I do here is to be enjoyed. I'm not the entertainment girl unless I do a let's chat and I let you guys decide, or unless I need to just ground myself with some bullshit so I can come down from being so out of this universe all throughout the week, which is what it's going to be like this week. So, members, I will, the fudge? That's gross. I don't know what that was, but that was gross. All right. Members, I will see you all in the members live. Again, Blockbuster / Road Opener is on this coming Monday, not tomorrow, but the Monday after. And that is to clear out our paths, our obstacles, and open doors for us to do the crown of success on the spring equinox, which is the natural new year. And if you have questions about what that is, please email me. My email address is pinbeyondtheveiladina@gmail.com. Anytime I offer a group ceremony, the ceremonies are discounted to $50. People always ask me, how much is it? Group ceremonies are always $50, and I'll never change the price on that. If you miss the group ceremony for the Crown of Success, then you'll have to get one on your personal time, and it is not $50. And I'll only do one Crown of Success a year, and that is on the spring equinox, and one group Crown of Success. You can get yours individually, but I'll only do the group Crown of Success on the spring equinox moving forward. All right. So that's that with that, members. I'll see you guys. And I mean my inner courts members. I'll see you guys in the live next so that we can get into some things. Love you guys. Good night and be blessed.